Today begins the story of the fastest player to ever play in Major League Baseball, Chacha Vauzz. Or at least that is his end goal, to be a little bit of a different style player than what we've seen in recent baseball era, where it's been all about those power hits, the home runs. We're going to try to play a little bit of the small ball here. He's going to be strictly contact, speed, and stealing. We'll upgrade the throwing, the fielding as we move along. He is going to be a second baseman, starting at 53 overall. If you're curious, we will run through the batting stances and all the different motions here, so you just get a look at what our guy Chacha Vauzz is rocking. 6'4", 190, and getting stuck into his first game. We've got Senior Day as our West Eagles take on the Central Stars. The story behind Chacha: he came over to America from Jamaica, and this is his first year playing baseball. He's just got some raw talent that we're trying to develop, and we're going to see a good bit of that raw talent here today. It's been about 10 to 15 years since I've played MLB The Show or any baseball game. So let's get this one underway. He's got a dribbler. We'll get the tag out, but we'll not get the double play. The fielding is definitely a raw talent here for Chacha. We'll head to the plate, where again, he is all contact, not a whole lot of power there, improving that plate vision. And clearly, we've got a long way to go. Strike out his first at-bat. Second at-bat, he's going to make some decent contact. It's going to roll straight to the second baseman, and he's out before he can even get that speed underway. Into the 12th inning here, and it's a soft little tapper to the pitcher, retiring him and retiring this game. It will not be a win for Chacha Vauzz here on Senior Day as we lose to the Stars 5-4. But we jump straight to the high school playoffs, where we're facing the East Bobcats. And if we want to win that state championship, then we've got to pick up our play. And it's going to start at the plate. Here in the third inning, we've got bases loaded, 2 outs. Can we bring home our first ribby? Chacha Vauzz with the pitch coming in. He gets a hold of it, getting a good ride on it. But with that lack of power, it'll be a pop fly. And we strand 3 base runners. Another opportunity to get a guy home. And again, it's a good pop out. I mean, a lot more power behind that one, but doesn't find any grass. It would be a 4-day at-bat here for Chacha Vauzz. And the final at-bat will be a pop-out fly to center. We'll be moving on through the first round of the high school playoffs. Though our man in Chacha Vauzz did not do much to help with that. But to the final game we go. Our high school state championship taking on the Northeast Bulldogs. If we want to come out on top, we're going to need Chacha to actually do a little something here today, as it will be up to bat. 2 outs, bottom of the first. With a 1-0 count, nobody on base. He will get a ride here, taking it to the gap, but tracking it down. He's showing that he does actually have a little bit of power, but we're not finding that contact into open space. That would actually end up being the only decent bit of contact that Vauzz would have today. So going to the field with a 0-2 count, a batter will get a nice little roll straight to Chacha. He's just got to make the throw. And after a little struggle, looks like he does find it. He picks up the out. Jumping to the top of the 7th. We are currently down by 1. Bases loaded. It's to Chacha. And he'll look towards first again. Gotta get this out. And he will deliver the strike just before the base runner arrives, giving our batters a chance. But we've got to get a point on the board here, or we lose the state championship, and it's gonna be a pop-up that will go maybe 10 feet. It will not be victorious high school play for Chacha Vauzz. He will lose in the high school state championship. Did not do much outside of some fielding to help his team. They lose to the Bulldogs 2-1, shifting his focus now towards potentially major leagues. But good news for Chacha Vauzz, despite his lack of high-end play in high school, he was invited to the MLB Combine, knowing that he's got to show a whole lot more here than he did in high school, starting with some batting. And he did show he has a decent little pop despite that low power rating. Got a hold of a good few of these, showing some ability to get that contact into the gap where his speed will then help out any team that decides to take that shot on him. He's not going to produce too many big hits, but he can still get that ball out there. Late vision is still something he has to work on. He did miss one during these hitting. Finished with a B grade, not too bad for a one-year player. To the field he went. We saw a little bit of some great play, a little bit of some poor play from him in high school. He will hit this first one, driving in, picking up that ball, and delivering it to first. But as mentioned, it is still a work in progress here for Chacha Vauzz. Having to move to the right-hand side, make a clean throw. He just hesitates, pulls the first baseman off the bag. Again, he finishes with a B grade there.
I mean, he was able to showcase as a hitter and as a fielder, and knowing his work ain't done yet, he's got some games coming up.
But as stated, there was definitely some nerves around this for Chacha Vauzz. It's a big stage, but he can vastly improve his prospect ranking here, delivering some good bats, fielding some good balls in the games. That's where it counts the most. So top of the second inning, 0-1 count, Chacha will pop it up. Third baseman will come over, get the catch, and send Chacha to the bench. Into the top of the fourth, he would finally get a hold of one here, but the first baseman would make a great play, able to track that one down. To the top of the sixth, another soft tapper, and another one straight to the first baseman. There's a little bit there, starting to catch his groove, get that timing, and it all would come to fruition here. Top of the eighth, we got a 0-0 count, man on third base, and Chacha would show off some power. Goodbye, baseball. A home run for Chacha Vauzz before he could even get a first base hit and show off some of that speed. Not exactly how we planned to start this build, but Chacha Vauzz is not gonna complain, and I'm sure some of those major league coaches gonna like to see a little bit of that pop from him, not all just pure contact and speed. But that is the first unofficial home run here for Chacha Vauzz. 415 in total, exit velo 102.1, but he's not done there. He also did a pretty decent job fielding in this game as well. Bottom of the fifth, another little tapper. He'll drive in, this time making a far more cleaner throw, a little bit more timely. Again, getting that flow to his game. A one-year player with a man on first, gonna drive in here, flick it over to second, and he's involved in his first double play. Didn't have that opportunity here in high school, missed out his one and only with that tag. Another little dribbler down the middle. He's able to catch up and deliver a clean ball over to first, showing he has some versatility at second and where his speed will definitely help out. Doesn't quite have that arm power, which is why he's not going to be playing at shortstop, but they pick up the win 4-3 in his first prospect game at the MLB Combine. To the second game we go. Wanting to see him actually get some decent contact and get on the bases. It's something we have not seen from Vauzz so far. Bottom of the first, a nice little pop with bases loaded, but it just flutters in the air too long. Gonna be easily caught, but picking up his first ribby on the sac fly gets his team on the board. We, though, are still trailing bottom of the third. Giving this one a ride deep to right field, but tracked down at about the warning track. Leaves his team down 10-4, bottom of the fourth. With a man on first, he would tap it through the infield, moving that guy from first to second, his first base hit, though he would not have an opportunity to show off that speed with a man in front of him. So we jump to the bottom of the sixth, where he taps it to the outfield. Right fielder will come in, make that stop. No RBIs, no on base here for Chacha. Bottom of the eighth with a 3-score game, and he just didn't quite trust it, tried to check that swing, and ended up being a bad decision on his part. Would be just one hit in this game. To the field, getting involved again in a double play, a nice little flip over to the shortstop, gets the out at first. But that would be the last highlight from this game. We would lose by 3 with him unable to get a hit late on. In the third game, trying to build some momentum here, show the MLB scouts that he can have a multi-hit game. That is his aim. And we are currently down 3, top of the second with a 0-1 count. Chacha gives this one a ride into the left field, down in front of the defender, and he will get a base hit to start off his day. Finally, with a chance to try to show off his speed, extending that lead, a slightly delayed jump, and he's going to be tagged out at second. A work in progress for sure, but eventually he's going to be stealing bases, and no one is going to be able to stop him like the catcher did here. To the top of the third we go with a tied ball game, 3-3, and a great hit out to left field. He thought about going to second, gonna pull back here, might have been able to make it with that throw being off. But another base hit here for Chacha Vauzz, his first multi-hit game. Top of the fifth, tied 5-5. And this one will be tracked down by the center fielder, keeping the man on first and keeping this game tied up. So Blue would jump ahead here, 9-5, top of the seventh, a soft tapper to the pitcher. Chacha not quite able to outrun that one. Would be his final at-bat of the day. As for his fielding, though, it's showing a lot of progress, starting to make a lot more consistent plays, delivering these a little bit quicker, not hesitating. He's catching his groove. But it would be another loss here for Chacha, 9-5, losing to the light blue team. But ultimately, he showed a lot of promise, and there were a couple college teams that saw that. TCU, they approached him while he was in high school, saying that they would love for him to join them down in Texas, place Chacha has not been. He was also recruited by current in-state team Cal State Fullerton, a team that offers high development with some good exposure. But ultimately, he wondered if there was any chance of him possibly getting drafted to a good position. Talking to his advisor, he was told right now it's looking like he's a 5th to an 8th round talent. And that obviously is not what Chacha really desires. So having to make a decision then, do we accept whoever we're drafted to, or do we go to college first? And it came down to choosing between two different teams, Cal State Fullerton or TCU. TCU, they have a power perk. That's not what Chacha's about. So his decision was made quite easy, committing to Cal State Fullerton. But in the back of his mind, he still wanted to know who he would be drafted to and when he would be drafted. In the 7th round, he would hear his name called by the San Diego Padres. Something that sounds great to him, staying in the area he knows in the United States. However, it was a late round pick, and he's not quite sure if he is ready.
He's got a future. He's a nice young talent, but I don't think he's ready for pro ball. I think he has a lot more development to do. And going to the college that he's going to, they do a great job of developing players. I think he really has to look at that seriously. Pro ball is pro ball. But college, you got a chance to go and you can make mistakes and still have an opportunity to come back. There's upside talent. I'm just saying pro ball will eat him up right now. He's not ready.
And hearing his thoughts echoed in the media, he knew it was time to head to Cal State Fullerton. Get that development that he really needs, grow that contact, work on his timing, and if he can improve that speed along the way, I'm sure he's not going to be too upset about that. But improving that plate vision, it was really going to go a long way in helping get those balls poked into the outfield and letting that speed fly. Well, that is where we're going to bring our first episode to a close. It has been rough out here for Chacha Vauzz, and by that, I mean myself. I have not played an MLB game in probably 10 to 15 years, so it's going to be fun to get stuck back into this game and learn a little bit about how to play the game quite simply. we are on a good starting point in terms of having that contact, having some of that speed. We're going to improve that for next time and hopefully go win that championship we were not able to do in high school. But this is the start. If you have any tips for me, do feel free. Let me know down below. Like I said, it's been 15 some odd years since I played this game. I'm hoping that there is some sort of practice thing that I could go into, and I will definitely do so. Before we jump into our next episode, I'm hoping to have at least this every single day for the next 3 days. Get us into our professional team and maybe into the first handful of games. The following episodes will all be in a different format than how we are here today, where this was more of the background story leading up to actually getting into play. I wanted to focus on learning the game here today, and then we'll get into more of the traditional way we do these with the live commentary, going through these games bit by bit. But if you enjoyed, let me know by hitting that bear icon in the bottom right corner or scrolling down, hitting that sub button and tapping that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. As for this week, we will still have college football, the traditional Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the Jacksonville Jaguars Tuesday and Thursday. As this is Wednesday, I believe when this is coming out, it'll be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We will have this coming out as the second episode of the day, so make sure you stay tuned as Chacha Vauzz is going to try to lead the Cal State Fullerton Titans to the college baseball championship.